Hello, it's JANG here with a look at a LEGO Technic set for 2015. This one's called the Arctic Truck. Comes with 913 pieces officially. This is a 2-in-1 set, and in this video we're only going to be looking at the primary build. Obviously that still leaves us with quite a lot of stuff to look at. I tried to find if there was an actual vehicle that this was based on, something that it was directly trying to replicate. The closest that I came up with was a company called Foremost, and they have a whole line of very popular tracked vehicles. Specifically the Chieftain model range has this kind of a overall layout. The cab section really defines the face of the vehicle, and I love this shape. You can see they've got 3 simulated seats in there. There's a steering yoke. You can also open the doors on the sides, interestingly. You got kind of suicide style doors there. There's actually a console piece. It's this tile which has a couple of stickers on it. You can see the detail of that there. The top of the cab presents a nice little gift to us also, a new piece for 2015. It's been released in a number of sets already this year. Let's talk about the tracks though, because they really stand out on this. Got the kind of triangle sort of design, and these are able to turn, and they're also articulated. So you got black large treads on this one, and they're able to steer. I'll show you all the functions together as well, but for right now I just want you to see how these are put together. And you've got suspension here. This is a 3-link suspension setup, so you're able to rotate the vehicle side to side. You can also do like this with it. You can bring the track up independently like so to go over obstacles. You can bring the entire thing up off the ground, and all the other tracks are still on the ground right now. It's the exact same situation at the rear. You can rotate these about the main axle. You can lift one up, just well done, usable suspension. Here's a look from underneath for folks who are familiar with modern Technic vehicle parts. And you can also see that they've got a drive up towards the front just for the rack and pinion steering system. I guess I might as well show that now. So these are able to turn, and that's operated by a knob on the top of the bed, or I guess the utility deck section of this. There's a little bit of forward caster to the angle there, so you've got a little bit of camber gain on this, but it's not too bad. Still keeps the tracks fairly flat to the ground. This is kind of your control station for controlling all the functions, all the geared functions of the vehicle from the top. And this is what I was using for steering right here, side to side. And this is the main input gear for use with the hand. You can also hook up a Technic motor to this and put a battery pack inside of the cab in the back of it to operate just a couple of these functions. And this is your function selector. So there are 2 things that you can do other than steering from here. One is to operate the main boom. There's a small linear actuator right here, and that's what you're going to be working on when you turn the knob here. And that gives you a pretty good range of motion just for the main arm. So you can practically bring that down to a horizontal. The second length of arm out here past the knuckle is actually operated by a manual lever over here on the side. So that really allows you to fold this thing all the way in. You can use that for kind of a storage mode, but it also allows you to bring your cargo inboard and take it out. This is just a fairly simple hollow, few system pieces put together just to give you a drum as something that would actually be transported or delivered by this type of vehicle. You can rotate the entire boom without technically touching it by using this gear right here to spin it around, but it's almost the same as just grabbing the thing and turning it. I think it's just a novel kind of thing, and this is not connected to any other gear system. It's just from here to the base. The main spool for the line is on the arm over here, and you do have to manually operate that, but it does have plenty of string in there, so even with the boom all the way up, you can still reach the ground and farther. There's what everything looks like with the boom fully folded up when not in use. The last geared function is a tipper bed. That's all this section back here, and just allows you to fairly quickly just dump off anything that you're carrying. If you've got some commodities and some sand or just a whole lot of bags or things, you just want to get it off there quickly. So if you hook up power functions to this thing to electrify it, like I said, there are only 2 functions that the motor will actually drive without you doing custom work to redesign this a little bit. And those 2 functions are controlled from this one lever that I showed here. That's the raising and lowering of the main arm and the dumping of the bed. The secondary official build is on a completely different scale. It's based on a pickup truck design, and I'll cover this in a separate video. The instructions are not included with this set. You have to go online to download them. It's too bad the official power functions setup doesn't include any drive mode to actually move this thing forward and back, but I certainly suspect that some customizers out there will figure out a way to make this thing fully RC. Even as it is though, this thing just looks great. The suspension works great. I love the tracks, I love the cab. The boom has a lot of flexibility to it and it can really do a lot. It's not limited at all, even though you do have to do a lot of the motions practically by hand. That really doesn't bother me. All the mechanisms are still there. They're really cool to see move and to use. For folks who like vehicles, and especially off-road vehicles and large vehicles and general polar stuff that tends to be really strange and unusual, this is truly a great set. For folks who haven't dealt with Technic before but feel like they're ready for it, this is a big project to work on. It takes quite a long time to put it together, but it's not too tricky. As always, the instructions are good, and you would really be proud of the end result when you actually put this together yourself. That said, I didn't actually put this together myself, my wife did. If you have any thoughts you would like to share with myself and other viewers about this Arctic truck main build, please do down in the comments section. I appreciate your time in watching the video. I appreciate your feedback in advance. I hope that you'll stick around to also check out the second build, which will be coming a little bit later on in a separate video. But as always, I've got a lot more videos on the way in the near term, so I hope to have a chance to talk to you again very soon. Bye for now.